What you're about to hear isn't just another headline, it's the story of a regime teetering on the edge of collapse, a diplomatic powder keg that just might explode, and a global game of strategic deception that could redraw the map of the Middle East. Iran is now facing unprecedented internal instability. Nationwide protests, originally sparked by economic collapse, have spread to nearly every corner of the country. Rights groups are now reporting dozens of deaths and thousands of arrests as citizens from over 250 cities and dozens of provinces pour into the streets demanding change. Governments can suppress protests, but not this many. Experts now call this the biggest domestic uprising Iran has seen in years. And it's not just peaceful demonstrations anymore. There are reports of armed conflict and escalating clashes with security forces, threatening the very foundation of the regime itself. This instability isn't happening in a vacuum. Behind the scenes, a high-stakes diplomatic drama is unfolding involving Russia, Israel, and Iran. According to some reports, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu sent a secret message through Vladimir Putin to Tehran, claiming Israel had no intention of a preemptive strike. Iran rejected it, calling the message lying and treacherous, and insisting that Israel is preparing an attack. This tit-for-tat rhetoric has only amplified tensions and distrust at the center of regional power politics. But this is where it gets critical. The United States is moving military assets in a pattern eerily similar to preparations for major operations, with large transport aircraft spotted flying through Europe, paralleling logistical movements seen before other major strikes. Meanwhile, U.S. leadership has publicly warned Iran that any violent crackdown on protesters would trigger a U.S. response. Caught between escalating internal dissent and mounting external threats, Tehran appears to have entered what some analysts call survival mode. Under this emerging doctrine, Iranian leaders have signaled they won't wait to be hit first. Instead, they have adopted a preemptive strike posture, pledging that if they detect credible indicators of an imminent attack, they will not hesitate to strike first, possibly targeting key regional adversaries. According to defense sources, this could include missile barrages aimed at Israel and, in a worst-case escalation, U.S. military bases throughout the Gulf. And the ripple effects reach far beyond Iran's borders. Across the globe, geopolitical alliances are now reordering themselves. Russia and China watch nervously. The potential fall of Iran would be a strategic nightmare shortly after Venezuela's destabilization and the rapid shift in Latin American political alignment. Meanwhile, the Gulf states are caught in the crossfire. These nations have worked for years to build economic futures in tech, AI, and global investment. And none of them want a regional war that would shut down their airspace, tank oil markets, and erase years of economic progress. So where does this leave us? Some analysts argue the only way forward for stability, for the survival of economies, and for the avoidance of an all-out regional conflagration is unity among Arab and Gulf nations. Because from Gaza to Venezuela to Iran, the crises are no longer isolated. They are connected. And if the world doesn't pay attention, if global powers continue to push and prod without a negotiated framework, the next chapter might not be protests or diplomatic messages. It could be the largest regional conflict this generation has ever seen. If you want the deeper analysis behind every line in this story, subscribe and let me know. Do you think Iran's survival doctrine will prevent war or provoke it? Because this situation is moving faster than most people think.